So I will be paying a little bit of attention. So the first thing you do is you're actually going to pick a clear Bordeaux bottle, that's 750 milliliters. First thing you're doing is you're going to sanitize it. So you can put the nozzle inside the bottle, give it 2 or 3 good pumps. Sodium metabisulfite, it's a sanitizer. That's also the last thing you want in your wine. So you want to basically rinse it out really well. So that's what these guns are here for. And I don't suggest picking them up and shooting at people.
Aww. He looked right at you, Alan.
You should never have said that.
But it can be done, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you know, never say don't.
Yeah, we don't recommend it, but it can be done.
So, however you guys are going to do this, each person does each thing, or somebody does all the washing, or whatever you guys are going to do. I do suggest washing a bunch first. So, when you're actually done rinsing it out, you want to rinse it out really well, because that's the last thing you want in your wine. If that wine touches, or that sanitizer touches the wine, it's just going to kill the wine. So I do suggest just letting them drip dry, gets all the water out of there. If not, you guys can just try to get as much water out as possible. You want to dry the outside really well. And the reason why we dry the outside really well is that when you come over here to put a capsule on the top of the bottle and shrink wrap it to it, if it's wet, it's just going to be bubbled up and it's not going to look all nice. The same thing with the label. So, the part that people get confused with is filling it up. The one thing you don't want to touch on this thing, obviously you don't want to touch any part of this, is mainly this part, because that part goes into the bottle. Everything is sanitized in here. So basically what you do is pull it out like this. The nozzle goes inside the bottle, push straight up, does the rest by itself. Cool. It will stop by itself 98% of the time. So it reaches that point, just take the bubbles out. Once it gets to that point, it's ready to take it off. This is the part where people get kind of scared. It's very easy. All you're going to do is pull it straight off in one quick motion. If you go too slow, it will kick back in and fill it back up. So, I mean, I've seen people actually grab this whole thing and so basically all you're going to do, as you can see, it's overflowing back here. It's not going to go any higher. But just grab the bottle from the middle, pull it straight up. If you drop a little bit on the floor, you're fine.
Alan.
Actually, that's probably a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Basically, just want to be about it.
Can you just drink it?
You can. They won't get their full 30 bottles. It's up to them.
No problem. Tasting is fine.
Let me adjust this real quick.
Getting adjusted so that it just fills up certain.
So basically what we use here is synthetic cork. Don't use natural, they leak too much and they're hard to come by nowadays and they're very expensive. Our synthetic corks will have a dot on the front and a little design on the back. You don't have to do this, but on the top of our bottles we do have the dot on top. It just acts as a target for the corkscrew. So when we get really busy, we'll have to search for the center and make sure we get it right. You don't have to do that. But you're basically going to drop it here on top. You drop the tray down. It is spring loaded. Once you got it there, it's ready to go. You're going to shut the door, press on it, drop it back down.
I want that,
and it's
John.
worked. Okay.
That beats the wooden stick we had when we made wine and when we lived in Minnesota and we bottled it. We had this mallet and this wood bam on our pan.
That's a little bit easier. Well, the thing is, if these do break down, we do have a manual one. We don't like using that one. So, but the next part is actually shrink wrapped in the capsule. We did pre-select some.
Color coordinated.
Yeah.
But when you are grabbing these, there is more than one.
So, yeah.
I've seen people actually put this whole thing on there and put it in here. It will start a fire. It doesn't smell all that good.
Patty, are you watching that?
So basically, there is a front and a back to the bottle. A back of the new bottle is actually going to have the size of the bottle.
Okay.
So this is 750 milliliters. It will say 750 milliliters. The front will have nothing on the front, or it'll have dots on it. And dots is Braille for whatever size it is. So when you put this on, you want the tab on the back. You're just going to lay it down. You're going to run it straight up, bring it right back down. So if it does pop up a little bit, just turn it over and flatten it out. Now the label part, I get kind of OCD about labels, even with employees. So I don't let anybody else do labels here. But the most important label to us and the federal government is the federal label. So that's why it is actually the first one that gets put on. So in case you do forget to put a label on it, it's your, not that it's less important. But basically there are seams on each side of the bottle. I take my middle finger, just place them on the seams. You don't have to do all this.
No.
I will be looking over your
We
shoulder.
want to be like you, Jason.
You're basically
She doesn't even have full glass.
just because you did that, I'll probably screw up now. But you're just trying to center it. Once you have it where you want it, if it's not right, you can easily just pull it back out. But you're going to run your fingers back and forth. And basically what that does is just gets all the air bubbles out. The only thing is if you put it on there and just push like that, it'll just fold right back up. Next part
So is there a
is
front
the other
and back?
important label.
Is this supposed to be the front one?
That is the front.
Yep. Yeah, I'm making sure you did it.
Oh, I
Here you're employees. You're the ones supposed to.
You'll find that she has questions all night.
Okay.
It goes up with the volume of number of questions.
Now the front label, I actually just touch the ends of the other ones
With your fingers.
with my fingers. And if it's where I want it to be, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So that's where I like it. So you do the same thing. That's it.
Very nice.
See the separation? Put you
Yeah.
on your side.
Like it. Like it.
This will be here as a sample.
Ours are going to be Nita's is going to go. Yeah.
Great.
Can I do my own?
It'll give it character.
Can I do my own from start to finish?
Yeah,
and put the
whatever.
label on upside down or something?
Some people do put it upside down, some people clockwise.
Yeah, I want to do it so that
So does everybody want to do a step?
Yes.
Let's take a seat. Yeah, let's just keep going. Okay.
I will actually be watching for a bit.